Moving on to, I'm listen, it's it's just a lot of hate going on right now on Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Do I think that all this hate is warranted? Listen, I don't know, but let me just go through the reports and the rumors and everything that's surrounding in the streets when it comes to Black Ops 7, cuz this game did launch. And so it's been out. It hasn't even been out that long cuz I don't even have confirmed figures, but it's a lot of like, whisperings. But let me just go through it. So in Europe, Black Ops 7 ranked number 1 in unit sales among tracked games. However, and European launch sales are reported to be 63% lower than the first week sales of Battlefield 6. So they're saying that, yeah, it might be number 1, but it is significantly more than half lower than Battlefield 6 sales. So, I mean, but that's just one little area of the world. So let's continue. Compared to last year's entry, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, its sales are down by more than 50% in the same region. Media reports describe the results as a muted launch, especially with previous Call of Duty entries. An analyst suggests the game's worldwide first week might be around 2.5 to 3 million units, but this is all speculative. Nothing has been confirmed. And honestly, 2.5 to 3 million sales, yes, it's not bad. But when you compare it to Call of Duty, who is a monster unit sold normally, it is a little alarming. But let's continue. One source suggests Steam players peaked with combined titles were under 100,000 concurrent players at launch. Now that is kind of low. I know for a fact that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 had about 350, if I remember correctly, concurrent players. So yes, that number is lower than previous. On the PlayStation 5 in the US, Black Ops 6 became the best-selling game ever for that console in dollar sales. The franchise itself at Call of Duty titles combined surpassed 500 million copies sold globally. Yeah. So basically, all right. So let's play devil's advocate though. I'm going to use my platform responsibly. Yes, the numbers are down. Can't argue that. But like I said, we don't know a complete unit sold around the world. This is all speculative. But I think this is just further indication that Call of Duty being available day one, Xbox Game Pass, is just affecting the sales, honestly. I think more people are like, why spend the money when I'm already spending money on Game Pass. Why buy Call of Duty? I think that has something, if not a lot, to do with the lower sales. Now, is that the complete reason? Oh, because I mean, these numbers are kind of alarming, especially when you compare it to just last year's. And Call of Duty has become very accustomed to doing big numbers. They come out every year. The hardcore fans, they come in droves. They carry the franchise, and not only do they support the game at launch, they continue to support the game going forward. Meaning, anything of when the seasons drop, the new content, their concurrent players always are pretty high, because they've been around for 20 years. I think we've had 20 years of nonstop Call of Duty releases every year for 20 years. So the Call of Duty fans are large, they are loud, they are here to stay. I think this is only a big deal. Like I said, this is not even confirmed numbers of units sold, but I think this is just a little eyebrow of like, that Game Pass might be hurting game sales under Xbox right now and Activision. And I know Activision's head guy was like, putting Call of Duty on the Game Pass as a day one is foolish. He did not support it. He kind of actually predicted the future, because the numbers are down because of, I think, largely to Game Pass. Now, let's get into the opinion of, is this a good Black Ops 7 game? I guess it depends on what kind of player you are. Do you care about campaign? I've seen a lot of good things about the campaign. A lot of people do like the campaign, and the fact that you even have a campaign is also good in a sense. But on the other side, they're saying that the campaign seems a little pieced together. You know how these studios say, "Oh, this started off as some DLC, and we just was like, oh, it's so good, let's just sell it as a full price game." People are feeling like it has that type of taste to it, that type of seasoning on it. Now, I think it is confirmed that this kind of started as a DLC and then they added some stuff. Some of the things, in the game, I just think if you know the Call of Duty experience, this is not nothing new. They didn't bring maybe that much innovation things to the table with this one. And I know the wall running thing fiasco or non fiasco because they talked about it, but then they say it's not really there. Listen, Call of Duty has been a non-stop machine for years. Is this the end of Call of Duty? Absolutely not. I mentioned Game Pass probably hurting it. I think another thing that could be hurting itself is the fact that Battlefield 6 is doing so well. The fact that somebody releases a game ahead of you for a couple of weeks and has had such positive feedback, that could take some of your players. But then in our last Call of Duty topic, somebody was in the comments saying, "Hey, I tried Battlefield 6 and I just couldn't get into it. I had to go back to Black Ops 7." Now I understand that because, like I said, it really is what kind of player are you. Battlefield is a completely different experience than Call of Duty, so it may be hard for some people the transitions between the two. Like I said, I think the success of Battlefield 6 is a big reason why the numbers are not a big reason, but one of the reasons why the number is down. And also, Arc Raiders. That game has been, and I didn't even realize it. That game is getting a lot of praise. That game has a lot of players playing it as well. And when you have one competition is one thing, you only got so much of the pie to slice. So when you got you and Black Ops Battlefield 6 at the table trying to slice this pie up. And then you get Arc Raiders, who has had very, very positive reviews and very, very positive just response from the community. That's a third person trying to slice this pie. And there's only so much money in the market. And I think we're in a point, I keep saying, people are watching their pocketbooks, they're watching their spending more than ever in life right now. So if you had an option between Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, and Call of Duty just, hey, the money's already spent, i.e. some Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders has been out for a month or so. So maybe people haven't got to Call of Duty yet because they're still playing the other two. And that's also sometimes a gamble when you're the last person to the table. Money's already spent. So you kind of on that, well, we'll get to you when we get to you mindset of players. And like I said, I think, hey, Call of Duty has had a long history. They had their ups, they have their down years, and they have their revenge game returns, and they do very well. So I don't think this is going to stop Call of Duty. This is not going to slow them down. We'll have another Call of Duty next year. Now, would it have some tweaks to it here and there more? Maybe. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of people at the table right now. Indie games are doing really, really good. And the fact that Battlefield 6 received so much praise, and plus with the Xbox Game Pass, it was just a storm that hit Call of Duty release day all at one time, and they couldn't weather the storm. But let me know what you feel. Are you still a Call of Duty fan, and will you support Call of Duty no matter what they do and what other people say, because you can't get into Battlefield 6 or Arc Raiders? Maybe this is your first person shooter game that you will support until the wheels fall off. And that's, hey, I'm here for it. The day ones, like I said, the hardcore Call of Duty players will not let Call of Duty fail or disappear. But let me know in the comments how you feel. Do you think Call of Duty just has a lot more competition this year compared to last couple years? And maybe the Xbox Game Pass is hurting the sales. But like I said, there's a lot of hate going on. Everybody and their mama are reporting how bad Call of Duty Black Ops numbers are, even though they're not really confirmed yet. But a lot of them did look at the concurrent player count at 100,000 compared to 350 or 322, whatever it was last year. This is just the normal the bashing of Call of Duty seasons we have, and we have it every year. It's either Call of Duty does something really great and it's nice and it's good. Maybe it's not the best, but it's still like, hey, it's a good game and they have an okay review season. Or like this year, everybody bashes them for X, Y, and Z. And I'm not here to say it's a bad game because like I said, you got the online players, you got people, some people play the campaign and nothing at all. And some people play the online and nothing at all. So I think this game is for some people, maybe not me and my cousin, but hey, if you're a supporter of Call of Duty and you ain't letting it go, by all means, support your game because it looks like they're going to need all the support they can get from their hardcore fans going forward.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?